Hi there, Libra. Welcome to your end of January 2024 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Okay, ambiguous card, so I'm going to cut the deck. Get an additional clarification card. Okay, there we go. Just bringing this up. Okay. Heart of the Matter, Six of Wands. This is a card of victory, taking your bow, which means recognition from others. This is a card connected to Leo. So if there are any Leos in your life, but in terms of yourself, being proud of what you've accomplished and being seen by others in that accomplishment. Sometimes to me, this is a theme. So in relationships, if you feel like you don't have that kind of thing going on, where like you are doing things like you're with somebody who never compliments you or rarely compliments you, but they're very free with criticism. And sometimes, you know how some people are, it's not necessarily overt. It could be little digs, which is passive aggressive, things like that. But the point is that they're not, giving you praise. And it's not to say that, oh, you need to have praise because you're an egomaniac or something. It's because having praise means that people can see your worthiness and they appreciate you for it, and they want you to know that. There are people who I personally feel they don't want us to know that they know that we are talented in certain areas, because maybe they feel envious. Maybe they're afraid that, sometimes people withhold praise to make the other person feel like insecure and kind of like always trying to get that recognition from that person. This happens a lot with jobs where the boss may kind of withhold praise. Of course, I wouldn't consider that a very good boss, but it does happen because it's like this misguided attempt where they want to kind of like motivate the person even more by withholding praise. But this may be something that is actually occurring for you because, this is a year where you are having a lunar eclipse in March and a solar eclipse in October, but you already had a solar eclipse back in October, and that may have put you into new circumstances, and some of them may have been, work related, which with a positive, outcome. But sometimes when someone's life is really going well, and this may be an improvement on their life, that is a time when their partner decides to be difficult because that person feels, envious of that, of the good fortune of the person that they're with. So pay attention to that, or even friendships. Pay attention to if things are going well for you. Are people happy for you, family members, or are they, trying to poke holes in your accomplishments? In the past position, we have the King of Swords. So this is what I was talking about. Gosh, it's pretty gory, all that blood on the ground. This is what I was talking about with that type of behavior of somebody who's kind of so detached. And I do think sometimes it can be mind games where they are not doling out praise. if you are in a relationship with somebody who is like the King of Swords, by the way, I always associate the King of Swords with Aquarius. All swords are connected to air signs, the the suit of swords. So Libra is one of those air signs, and Aquarius and Gemini, you know, and the point, the reason I do it is this idea of somebody who is so detached that they are completely devoid of anything, that is affectionate. So, I mean, it could be that too. I mean, somebody who doesn't say, I love you, maybe that feels very rejecting. With the Six of Wands, I do think more of achievements than, but I mean, wands are passionate. So sometimes in relationships, you have one person who's touchy feely and the other person's kind of aloof. Now, that aloof person, they might not say, I love you, but they are loyal, and they are caring. They show their caring qualities in other ways. So it's not to say that it has to be that, but yeah, something going on. And also the king can be the father. So sometimes that can trigger people, because if they had a father who was kind of cold and then they have a partner who's like that too, it can remind them of growing up in this cold environment where they felt like their father didn't love them because he didn't hug them or tell them, I'm really proud of you, how you're doing in school, or, that thing that you did that was so great, whatever it is, some hobby that you're really good at, and they will never give them any praise, and it's like they're starving for praise. So sometimes people wind up with a partner who is also like that. The higher message is the Six of Cups. This is a card of childhood, children, the past. There's a nostalgic quality to this card. It's funny that I got two sixes here. Actually, the number 6 is connected to Venus, which is your ruler. And it's like this, one of the facets of Venus is harmony. And sometimes when you're in a situation where someone is, I think with Libra, there's also the issue of wanting acceptance and wanting approval. And that may be a thing that might be a lesson that you have to learn with this King of Swords individual, is that you can't, I was going to say you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. But you can't always get that from someone, and you still have to, maintain your center. If you're with someone, let's say you work for someone and you're like, I can't tell what they think of my work because they never praise me. And it makes you feel kind of imbalanced. The Libra is the scales, and it makes you feel imbalanced. And then that affects how you operate. Then that just shows you that your, inner compass is easily messed up by somebody else's outward behavior. And that's a you problem if that happens, because you have to maintain that equanimity no matter what the outer world is doing. If you know that you are good, that's all that matters. Six of Cups is a soulmate. So have you been settling for someone who is not in alignment with you as a person, who doesn't realize how awesome you are, Libra, because you don't want to be alone? I want you to think about that, because the soulmate, I know that's kind of, I almost would rather say life partner than soulmate, because that sounds a little bit too, I don't know, wishful thinking, but just like, a life partner. If you are entangled with somebody who really you're not aligned with, that just blocks your life partner from coming into the picture. Because you're going to be living, when we go down a certain path, it's like timelines. If we take certain actions, we are going down these certain timelines, and that might not involve the person that you really want to be with. So you have to have that openness, that makes space for that soulmate. What crosses you is the Emperor. This is a card. This is I think this is associated with Aries, which is your opposite sign. I would associate with Capricorn. But in any case, it's someone, if this is a person, and this is another archetype of the father. So again, unhealed trauma, family trauma, that shows up in future relationships, not just with significant others, but also bosses, authority figures. Believe me, that is real. That can happen. But also your own being in order in your own life. Are you codependent? Are you kind of like giving away too much power to somebody else, or putting too much energy into somebody else's life instead of cultivating your own life? Even if you have been, this can happen if you've been experiencing success career-wise, and you have a partner that suddenly starts going on drinking binges, or they're creating all this chaos in your home life, and it just so happens to coincide with you having like amazing success in work. Don't think that is totally unrelated. It could be totally related. And that person could be, even like they might not know that they're doing it, but they could be sabotaging you. And the thing is, if you get caught up in their problems, you're going to neglect your goals. I do recommend, if you're in this kind of situation of codependency, to read a book called Codependent No More by Melody Beatty. It's a classic in self-help literature. And I think it has my feeling, it has a law of attraction kind of a vibe to it, long before I'd ever heard that term. And I think that's why I was strangely drawn to it, because one of the things I recall her saying, I'm listening to the audiobook right now, or I have been in recent months, but she says something about it's basically like you doing your own thing and taking these steps on your own for your own life. It just generates more of the same, and that can create a situation where you're able to build a life for yourself, and that strengthens you. Oh, this is the last card, so I'm not going to read that. What's coming in is the Lover's card. This can be a choice. This card is connected to Gemini. This can be like we were saying, whatever's going on that is representative of the Six of Wands and King of Swords and that sort of thing. Maybe the soulmate has come back into the picture and you're with the King of Swords. So the Lover's card can be like, I get to decide. I actually have autonomy. I have sovereignty in my life. I don't have to just accept everything that comes into my reality. So this is what I got as the outcome card. Two of Wands, real strong decision, right? Well, it just kind of emphasizes choice. And it brings in the element of Wands, which is fire. Of course, Six of Wands, that could have been, maybe that's a person, Six of Wands, a Leo. But it brings up this idea of passion So maybe it's a choice between somebody who is cerebral, like you might be, and that's why you're attracted to them, or somebody who's very passionate. And which one is more in alignment with what you're looking for? Or sometimes, it's more complementary to have somebody who's more warm and coming from the heart, and you are the brains in the operation. Could be one of those deals. And this might even be a career decision too. Two types of careers, even, regardless if you're experiencing success right now. And then the clarification card, Eight of Cups, walking away from what no longer serves you because you want fulfillment. The Lover's card is actually about deeper, about intimacy, not just sexual intimacy, emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy. And how do you get there? Only by the person that is right for you, not just anybody. Nobody can automatically fit the bill. So, all right, Libra, that's what I have for you. That's this is like the Eight of Cups, the what the soul wants. Sometimes that's like a spiritual journey, So some of you may be having experiences with spiritual awakening where things that were normally tolerable no longer are in your life, and you should really pay attention to that if you're in that phase, because it can show you that it's time for a change. And with those eclipses in 2024, it's going to happen regardless, so just keep that in mind. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.